Okay guys, while I still have all of this set up from my last video, there is another escort topic that I do want to talk about because I get a lot of questions on TikTok of guys asking what certain phrases and terms mean in the industry, and on TikTok I'm very restricted on what I can and can't say, whereas I believe here I may have a little bit more freedom since it's educational content. So I'm going to go through and individually mention services, acronyms, and what they mean. I want to start with GFE, naughty GFE, and PSE because that's probably the thing I get the most questions about. When you're browsing on these escorting sites, you'll often see these terms, and that's why people are so curious because they're new and they haven't done it before, and they're like, what does that mean? So in general, and I say in general because every single girl is going to include different things in each different type of service. What I consider GFE may not be exactly what another girl considers GFE. She may have different extras for different things. So it's always good to make sure that you are finding out this information from the girl before you're booking her. But I'm going to talk about, in my experience, me personally, and what I know of the industry. So GFE is normally more of your passionate, vanilla, intimate type things. So this is like kissing, oral on the go, like fingering. It's a lot of things, and it's pretty much anything that's not considered fetish or rough. So majority of the bookings that in my experience I have would fit into a GFE booking. Okay, and this is why normally most girls will charge the lowest rate for this. Naughty GFE, I personally don't use that term, but sometimes this will be used to incorporate some small elements of PSE in there and be like a happy medium for the girl. Personally, I don't offer an NGFE, naughty GFE. I don't differentiate with that, so I can't really be much help in what they're specifying with that. Although I would recommend going on and looking at some of the girls in Sydney because they can actually list what they are putting in each service. So PSE is your more extreme or fetish type services. So this could be things like pegging, this could be things like spanking, choking, BDSM type stuff. Obviously that will all be different from girl to girl. Some girls will offer things like backdoor, anal, and others won't. Some may actually include this in their PSE service. Some may be charging extras for things, and that's what they're allowed to do because they get to dictate their own prices, okay? So yes, normally, in general, GFE is your more vanilla sort of stuff, and PSE is your more fetish and rough services. But that can be different girl to girl with what they are willing to do in those services, okay? If I'm looking down, it's because I have a list of all of the acronyms and things that I want to be talking about. Just go in order that I have them here. So ATM, and no, that doesn't mean cash ATM. It means ass to mouth, which is essentially the client uses your backdoor and then immediately goes into your mouth with no washing or swapping in between. So yep, that is a term, ATM, ass to mouth. B and D, or B plus D, this is bondage and discipline. Bi twin means a double, so two girls, and bi twin, so there's different types of duos. There can be just a standard duo, which is pretty much just two girls at the same time, but the two girls are not doing anything with each other. A bi twin is when the girls will actually do things to each other in that booking. So yeah, bisexual experience. CBT is cock and ball torture. DDP is double digit penetration. I think we know what that means. DT is deep throat. FE is female ejaculation, also known as squirting, so visible squirt. This one I find hard to advertise because it may be a service that someone can offer, but it's up to one, their hydration beforehand, and two, that client's skill set to be able to get that to happen. But yes, that is a service that the girls can offer. Male, female is two guys with one girl. This is something that not a lot of girls offer because of the dangers. For me personally, they would both need to be screened, and I probably would have needed to meet them both separately in order to be able to do something like that. The phrase BBBJ is bareback blowjob, which means a blowjob without a condom on. In Brisbane, where I live, this is not a legal service, but in many parts of Australia it is. Just keep in mind that the girl will need to do a thorough health check and hygiene check before she does that sort of thing. BLS, balls licking and sucking, pretty straightforward. CD means cross-dressing, so that person is willing to take on cross-dressing clients. DFK is a really common one. This means deep French kissing. FK is French kissing. GS is golden showers, which is P. That can go both ways, and it will depend what that girl is comfortable with. For some girls, it may be you peeing on them is fine, or them peeing on you. Greek means anal sex. Now, this one is really important, and I do think if you're going to remember any of these terms at all from this, it should be MSOG, multiple shots on goal. This is something that's really important as a client, because for a lot of the guys, they've told me that they've been disappointed when they've booked somebody before and it's only been one shot in a booking. The girl has every right to offer that as her service, you know, but if you're looking to be able to go multiple times, maybe you finish quite quickly from a hand job normally at the start of your sessions, I suggest only booking girls who do MSOG, or offering to pay a small extra to somebody who, you know, someone who you like seeing in order to get MSOG. CBJ means covered blowjob, which is, as I was saying before with bareback blowjob, CBJ is a blowjob but just with a condom on. COB is come on body, so that would be like if they want to finish on your boobs, stuff like that. DATY is dining at the Y, so oral on the girl. This is also one that I think a lot of guys should probably try to remember, DATY. Or daddy, a lot of us call it. Not saying daddy, we're saying datty with a T. But yes, that is a really common one. DP is double penetration. Fire and ice. This is something that I don't offer, but I am so intrigued by this. This is a hot and cold blowjob. That seems really intriguing to me. This may be something that I actually need to research and try to figure out how they're doing this, because that sounds really cool. LK is just light kissing. MFF is male, female, female. So the reverse of MMF, it will mean, you know, that girl will see a couple. Or they don't necessarily have to be a couple. They could just be friends who are adventurous together. Okay, another one, and I think this is the last one that I can think of that I want to mention, is tromboning. Now, this is essentially the female rimming you while reaching around and giving you a hand job at the same time. So yes, that is a service the girls can advertise that they do. But yes, I think that's everything. I know to some people these are going to be just common sense and they're going to be like, what was the point in this video? But if you saw the amount of questions I get on TikTok asking to explain some of these terms, that's why I feel like this video is important, because, you know, the more clear we make things, the more likely people are to be doing, you know, booking somebody who is providing the services that they want, which will mean that it's avoiding, you know, those situations where things are getting forced on somebody when they're not comfortable doing it and they don't offer it. So yes, make sure you always ask your service provider what their services are before you even book, so that you're on the same page and there's no confusion about what you can and can't do in a booking. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful day.